Hello and welcome to the Carnegie Murrumbeena Report. It is August 2024. I'm Gary Peer.
And I'm your Samuel.
You are he. And of course, not only is it August, but it's late August. It's just the last few days of winter. And you know what that means?
Spring season, here we come.
Spring is in the air. It's going to be big. Everywhere I look around, it's going to be spring. It's going to be big. There's a lot going on. It's always the time of year. It's the trade season, isn't it, of the year. It's the time of year we get excited about. And as I've said, I've been quoted as saying, the spring market to real estate agents is like the Boxing Day for traders. It is just a crazy time.
It's like saying diamonds are for girls and WD-40 for men. Do you like that one? Have you heard that one before?
I'm quite sure about
the trader you are? Oh yes, you have heard it, Gary. You're just playing dumb.
No, I have to think about that one. I'm not quite sure. But, you know, it's out there now, so we'll just let it float. Leo, busy weekend, lots going on, lots happening in your office, and some exciting things happening in your office. We are setting some incredible records.
We are.
So well done to our record setters, and we'll talk a bit about those. And, of course, we've got some new people coming as well, which is also exciting. Let's talk a little bit about Izzy, who's just joined our team.
Izzy Anstey's just joined our Carnegie Murrumbeena team, and she's doing great things so far. Comes from a sporting excellence, but medically retired, as she liked to put it, and she's doing great things in residential real estate with us in the Carnegie Murrumbeena team.
Welcome to Izzy. We've got some other people applying to start here as well. It's an exciting place to be. Our Carnegie office has always been an unbelievable organisation in terms of great property managers, great leadership. We've got 3 auctioneers there, so it's probably the office with the most auctioneers actually when you think about it, and also some great operators have been around, some years of experience. We've got people from Izzy who's just started, of course to yourself and your brother, who directors and partners of the company. You've got David Thompson, who's a real estate icon, Graham Callan, who's an auctioneer. I mean, you've got so many great people right throughout the office. If I've forgotten someone will watch.
Christian
and I'll be
doing great things, which we'll talk some of
well,
his special
Christian,
sales as well. Maybe a good segue to talk about that.
Well, we were going to talk also about Dizzy Wang, who is now
Mark
our
Wynn and Rishi as well. What a month he's had.
We've got people from diverse backgrounds.
And don't forget Graham as well. Graham Callan
I mentioned Graham already, but I've got to say that that's what I love about real estate, and that's what I love about the Carnegie office particularly. You've got this great diversity. We've got people that speak, you've got people that speak Indian, you've got people that speak Mandarin, you've got people that's, we speak
gibberish,
gibberish, and we speak racing and footy and real estate. So you've got a great variety of people with all different sort of backgrounds and expertise. But I've got to say that Christian de Vries has been, or de Vries. Christian de Vries.
As a French, you obviously don't speak French when it comes to languages.
Okay,
there you go.
Not so good with the French. Not so good with French. But Christian de Vries, Christian has been incredible because he has been involved in a number of record sales. Now we're talking just under 4 million, both in Murrumbeena and Carnegie,
That's
and
right.
He is determined to hit the $4 million mark, and I tell you what, he's going to do it too. If anyone can do it, we'll talk about a few of those sales. In fact, let's just launch into some of those sales. We won't talk about the Essendon Football Club because I know how upset that will make you, so I wouldn't even dare bring it up, mind you.
That's okay with your Carlton performance, with your high pressure tablets, extra dosage. I'm sure that definitely kept your pharmacist and your doctors happy. But what a Carlton touch and go. But good luck against Brisbane. The week ahead in Queensland. Hopefully you don't have memories of last year.
A little bit of a curse, a bit of spite in there, a bit of anti-competitive spite. I don't mind that, but you know what they say now? The best thing about breaking for Carlton is you get to cheer on Port Adelaide once a year. So thanks, Port Adelaide, for letting us through. Anyway, we're getting very footy talk here, which we don't want to do. We want to talk about real estate talk. And of course, the racing season is upon us as well. And we both have a toenail each of a horse called Chorlton Lane that came third in the Goulburn Cup, trying to get a ticket for the big dance. But the only big dance will be our big dance, because I don't think it got quite there. But watch out for Chorlton Lane through the next weeks, because that is a good horse, big run, if we can do racing tips, if it's not distasteful.
Yeah, disclaimer, like the sports bet one. Kira Marr trains it, but that's it. No, we don't worry into your losses, and good luck if you have a crack.
And you're about to lose. Most likely you're about to lose. And I can tell you from experience, you are going to lose if you follow my tips anyway. But Chorlton Lane, you might win. You never know. Anyway, exciting time of year. It's all happening. Let's talk about some of our sold properties. Let's talk about 7 Blackwood Street, Carnegie, because it is a absolute record-setting home.
Yeah, in the sales meeting this morning, we had a bit of a theme of talking about that we sometimes come in knight in shining armour and we take over another agent's failed campaign, and we'd like to think our Gary Peer and Associates way works, because on the sale of 7 Blackwood Street, this was private sale with another agent and they had no luck. Christian obviously monitored it with interest in time and had the opportunity to speak to the owner after the event, and we launched into an auction campaign there. But the best thing about it is that it was private sale with a single price. We took it to auction. 5 bidders. We ended up selling it for a suburb record, residential record, for $3,750,000, well above the reserve price. And I can tell you, Gary, Christian and Dizzy ran that campaign so beautifully. The whole street was literally there, but amazing result, and we're very proud to have had the best residential house sale in Carnegie.
Well, I don't want to be nasty or, or to take digs at our competitors, but we have been keeping very busy selling properties where other agents haven't sold, and in some cases those other agents maybe promised a little bit too much on price or didn't have the process necessarily to get the job done, but we are getting the job done. Talk a little bit about Wattle Avenue, Glen Huntly, because when I see a property that has 11 bidders, I think, well, that must be pretty hot in the market.
Hot it was. That was a case where the vendor listened to Viv's recommendations from styling, presentation, marketing. We had a really good interest after 2 weeks, and we decided to actually publish a fixed reserve, which was literally the vendor's reserve price, Gary. And it was published at $850. I did the auction, I called for bids. We had bidding at $800,000 onwards, 3-4 bidders in the mix. We're on the market at $850 disclosed reserve. And we ended up selling this 2-bedroom villa unit for $1,500,000 on a cold, wet day in Sunday afternoon in Glen Huntly. And to get that price, incredible. But to have 11 bidders going for it, we've been definitely working with the other 10 underbidders and selling them stuff too.
Well, there's a lot of cynics, I suppose, that would say, we don't like the fact there's ranges and things go above the range. There's a lot of push for a single price. But even with a single price, you don't always know what the premium's going to be. We would have had a good reason to have that price on it. It would have been a foundation to the quote of it and to the formulation of the price. There would have been some precedent, but
very much, and there was precedent there in the time, and the vendors, to commit vendors, they might say result the day before. Why do we have to commit them to that level? But
that's
that price at $850, they were a seller at, and they would have probably taken less. Very much guided by us, and then the result spoke for itself, and I'm very happy for them.
There's some properties just got that wow factor, and no agent, professional, is able to say what the wow factor is. There are some properties that have a wow factor. That one was one of them. 254 Neerim Road, Carnegie. That's sold after auction.
Yeah, this is if the Carnegie Murrumbeena folk would know that's the old Breslin Gallery on the corner of Neerim and Toowoomba. We ended up selling this after auction. We had on auction day, people could have bought it at the reserve price. Didn't happen, and we ended up having an auction after the auction a few days later, selling for $1,720,000, and it's a very, very unique offering there, and I'm sure the owner's very happy to have their hands on this one.
It is a unique property, and good to get it away, and thank you to the vendors for entrusting us with it. 12 George Street, Murrumbeena.
Sure. Yeah, that was a great sale, because I'm always a big fan of those subdivisions where it was the original old, home on the corner with the old Aussie backyard, as I like to call it, was subdivided, and they built this townhouse there with its own piece of land. I'm not the biggest of land, but sold for $1,430,000 to a lovely family that lives locally, and a great opportunity for the buyer to move into the area.
Before I move to Hawthorne East, I want to talk a bit about Emily Street, Carnegie. Sold for $854,000 with 4 bidders for that.
Another competitive auction, well handled by Rishi Thacker there. We had 4 bidders going for that one. Did the auction in the nice, cosy lounge room with the ducted heating cranked up. And sold really well, $854,000 for this rear villa unit.
We love Hughesdale. We do a lot of sales in that suburb, and we've told people for a long time that's a suburb on the way up, and there's a lot going on there. Let's tell us a little bit about 6 Barclay Street.
So Barclay Street, that was an incredible auction, Gary, because when I rolled in there to set up with my speakers and microphone, etc., I couldn't find a car park, but it was just, the crowd was buzzing there.
Lack of parking or big crowd?
A bit of both.
Okay.
But in saying that as well, the reserve price given to us, top end of the range, first bid was at $1.9 million, and it just sort of sailed after that. 3 bidders competitively took that one to $2,120,000. Another great result, and Christian DeFries doing amazing results for those top end homes in the area. Now
you're in the news, and I've got to say, when real estate agents are in the news, not always good news, but this was very much good news because it was the record sale of that weekend, and it was
Victoria,
36 Torello Avenue, Hawthorne East. Congratulations, Leo, sold for $5,051,000. Tell us a bit about it.
Amazing campaign. Just what can I tell you? People say timing, winter, everyone's in Europe. I'm a big fan of selling in winter. Even though spring's coming up, it's a great time to sell when there's lack of stock around. This campaign was well handled by myself, Aviv, and Dizzy Wang, and what can I tell you, Gary? To sell for $5,051,000 with 5 bidders going for it, I wish all auctions were like that. It was like the old days.
And quite audacious for some people to say, oh, you don't sell in that area. Yep. Hawthorn East is not your area. Look, when you bring the show to town and it's a good show, it works in any area. And we've proven that many times.
And the marketing there, as you probably see, just photography there was amazing. But the whole feel, and the vendors took our recommendations from start to finish. And some other local agents there had sold stuff, well below our initial reserve, and we're proud to say, when we sail in to do it and ride in, we get the results when we do the best for our clients.
Video was good too, wasn't it?
Very good.
Tell us a bit about that.
It was a bit of a dual effort by Dizzy Wang and myself. I spoke in English, Dizzy spoke in Mandarin, and we had subtitles. It was like the old SBS shows that you used to watch in the late 90s on a Saturday night before Channel 31 came on with the racing channel, Gary Dan Maliki. But no, more on a more serious note, but that was it was a unique video. A lot of the demographics were from, pockets of Asia, and I thought the video worked really well, and got to get Dizzy on the camera as well. And,
yes, indeed.
Nice video.
I was just reviewing with Philip on GPTV some of this weekend's auctions, and we talked about the fact that we now have a team that is Win and Wang. And I thought that's, like yin and yang, you've got Win and Wang, and Mark Win and Dizzy Wang. So
they're a powerful combo in the area as well. That love number 8 as well.
Don't mind number 8 at all. 103 at 128 Murrumbeena Road, Murrumbeena is coming up with Dizzy Wang. Tell us a bit about that.
That's a great apartment, something modern. We've seen a bit of a changing of the guard of investors selling to owner occupiers, but I reckon first-time buyers will love this one because it's close to all the action, like our Murrumbeena office in Murrumbeena Road, but more close to like public transport options, like the fabulous train networks that's been established over that sort of Pakenham corridor, the Skyrail. And I love that pocket there because walking distance everywhere.
This Saturday we have an auction in Milton Street, Carnegie. Mark Kirkwood's been handling it. Jeremy Rose is due to do the auction, but I'm going to fight him for it and see if I can do that auction because I'd like to, because I know the client, and I'd love to come and do an auction in Carnegie because I don't get a look in there that often anymore. Tell us a bit about this property in Milton Street.
Single level homes on big blocks. These are the ones you buy. They cater for all demographics. I always say people aspire for a freestanding home in its own block. Very hard to buy. But if your budget is limited, I would buy this one. Even for an investment, it's an absolute ripper.
If you missed that one, we've got a reserve property for you, and that happens to be 9 Reserve Avenue in Carnegie. Tell us about that. We always love selling in Reserve Avenue, and what a good opportunity to reserve your mark there. Beautiful period home, lovely Californian bungalow. The extension that the vendors put in here over 40 years ago, they've done a great job with building costs gone through the roof to have a period home to put them on an extension on. Take this as an opportunity to live in it and in time improve it how you like. But yeah, I love it. And there's a really nice story to it. We've got on our marketing material, Gary, that we lay out, what we love about the home. And our vendor Michael's prepared a most lovely story where he's got photos when him and his wife Judy at the time bought it, and they're sitting on the front step, and how different the story through it. And I love that. How long have they been there for?
Since early, I think 1981 to be exact.
Beautiful.
So it's a lovely story, and check that home, and it's a beautiful pocket. And what I love about that too is that the Carnegie swimming pools, the pools after the massive refurb they're done, will it ever finish? And yes, it will. But I reckon that area is going to kick on even more so the next few years. If you live in Reserve Avenue, can you be called a reservation? I don't think so. No, I'm not sure. Find out about that one. Find someone that's really good with words and see if you are a Reserve Avenue resident, are you called a reservation? Yeah. Let's move on to Murrumbeena, 1 at 1222, Dandenong Road, Murrumbeena. Nice pocket too, nestled right near the Koonang Road Shops and Chatston Shopping Centre. Love that pocket of Dandenong Road. That's also a fabulous pocket near Boyd Park. Murrumbeena, but Chatston around the corner, and also not too far from Koonang Road Shops. Can you put this next street name in a sentence, Leo? It's 103 Shafton Street in Murrumbeena. Sounds like a... sorry, Huntingdale, beg your pardon. 103 Shafton Street, Huntingdale. Can you put the title or the street name in a sentence? I think you shouldn't. I think you can, yeah. If you've got some, shifty brother-in-law or something like that, wants to take advantage. But you know what? David Thompson opened this last week. Couldn't believe the numbers coming through it. Yes. Huntingdale, Oakley. We always talked about it since we opened our Carnegie office. What a great area to buy, and I love this home, and it's going to go really, really well. And David Thompson's looking forward to auctioning it. A great looking property. I know David Thompson has been excited about that one, so come on down to Shafton Street and check it out. In the meantime, you can jump across the road to Hooper Street, Murrumbeena. Mark Kirkham is handling that, and you're due to do the auction for him. Yeah, there was a famous West Indies cricketer called Carl Hooper. Do you remember him? He was a spin bowler. You're probably more interested in Curtly Ambrose. But this is a great
I'm
pocket.
more interested in Damien Oliver, actually.
Damien Oliver, yeah.
Go on.
From his birthdays. Okay, so Hooper Street, I love that pocket. Keep talking about Boyd Park, Murrumbeena Road shops. That is a great period home, fabulous bones, but a good opportunity for someone to refurb in time, and it's been in the family's hands for quite some time.
There's a debate about who is called Mr. Murrumbeena, because Anthony Lee, who runs our Murrumbeena rental business, who's the head of that, some people call him Mr. Murrumbeena, but there is a gun agent, of course, selling up Murrumbeena in a storm, who's created the record price by the name of Christian de Vries. And is that right?
That's exactly right. And you learn from
Christian
our
de
friend,
Vries.
that's our French-speaking Gary Peer and Associates colleague with our man of many languages.
He is Christian de Vries, and he is selling 20B Adelaide Street in Murrumbeena. What a great property. Tell us about it.
This is a beautiful Art Deco home, and I can tell you what, our vendor got this absolutely right. Years ago, bought the brick pair, so we sold the other half at the beginning of the year, but extended outwards. You got the period chummet throughout, but that modern extension with that north-facing rear is an absolute ripper. 4 bedrooms, beautiful design. If someone wants something with a bit of character, and Christian de Vries is handling it, and you'll meet him on one of our opens.
And Christian de Vries also is handling this property in number 19 Atkins Street, Murrumbeena, which brings down the curtain on a busy episode.
Lovely period home there with a swimming pool, north-facing rear as well. Close to all the action that Murrumbeena has to offer, and a lovely home. If someone wants to get their hands on a 2-storey home, check that one out.
Hasn't Murrumbeena Carnegie changed with the overpass of the train?
Yep.
You know, it's unbelievable. Remember, you sit there, ding, 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 waiting forever.
The worst is
And
when
now
we had open for inspections like a 6 to 6:30 on an evening. We used to leave the office at 5:30, and we would be stuck at the boom gates, bottleneck, and we'll be sweating away to go. But the flow's better. And you know what? It's moving with the times, and it was well needed, but wish they did it 10 years earlier, because probably the state budget might have had a bit more money, I reckon, the state government. But
Maybe so.
Definitely a wise move, and people have got used to it, and it's been a good thing.
Well, I've got to say, there's not a lot of vacant shops, are there, in Kudang Road? It's a buzzing strip, it's an exciting strip, and Murrumbeena Road also. All around there, some great cafes. If you're not aware of it, come and have a look at it. Murrumbeena Carnegie, 2 of Melbourne's most exciting areas, and we are thrilled to be bringing you all the news from those 2 suburbs and the wider real estate market. And we will see you next time on the Carnegie Murrumbeena Report. I'm Gary Peer.
And I'm Leo Samuel. Have a fabulous week.